Welcome back to Celebrial, where we don't just chase headlines, we track the power moves behind the silence. Because behind the scenes, a new claim is spreading that could change the entire conversation around Jay-Z, Diddy, and the people who allegedly knew more than they ever admitted. The story going around is this.
Because there's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. He says, you're going to find out, like how I'll handle this. And that's an attorney want to be combative with another attorney. That's not like your publicist would say those things.
But one time walking in the studio and it was like a small gap and bleak beans. Everybody was in there and I was like, man, I'm telling you, man, y'all got a chance right now. Just flood it, put out a lot of music because 50 Cent is coming.
50 Cent reportedly wanted to include footage and testimony in his upcoming project that would tie Jay-Z directly to serious wrongdoing connected to Diddy. Not internet rumors, not vague industry whispers.
How many victims?
There was none for her.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty.
But allegations pointing to knowledge, involvement, and cover-ups. And what made people freeze is that 50 didn't come out and kill the idea with a hard denial. Instead, the way it's being repeated online is that he basically confirmed the footage exists, that he has it. Now, let's be clear.
Died because he was my son.
He died because of your
He was targeted because he's my son.
He
was working on his EP. I bought Philadelphia for him so he didn't have to sign to a company because I knew what it was going to do. He interned at Rock Nation. And they approached him to sacrifice me. I saw his death when he was 19. I moved us here to stop it, to prevent it, to avoid it. They take them anyway to show you what the harm is. Giovanni, his death is why I do what I do.
Having footage and proving a crime are 2 very different things. But according to people pushing this narrative, the reason the footage matters is because it allegedly shows Jay-Z knew about illegal activity happening around him and chose not to stop it. Worse, they claim it suggests he benefited from staying quiet while other people were harmed.
It was never investigated. Hype was never questioned. Lenny Kravitz made a statement. And it was never publicized. She was unconscious. She didn't choose to get on that plane. There were phone calls made. There are witnesses who signed NDAs. Why would you need to sign a non-disclosure agreement about a plane crash and what happened leading up to it?
If that were ever proven in a real court setting, that's not just a moral issue. That becomes legal territory. Then you've got the Gene Deal angle, Diddy's former bodyguard, who's been out here implying Jay-Z and Diddy were a lot closer than Jay's legal team has tried to frame publicly. Not casual friends, not distant business connections, but close enough, he claims, to understand what was happening behind closed doors.
Please, someone answer that.
Do you feel like
Why the fuck would you need to sign? A nigga don't ask about a plane crash if it was accidental.
Do you feel like
Tell me that. Riddle me that. Work with me here in this moment.
And I'm going to ask you.
A plane crash should be accidental.
Should be.
Why would any testimony about what happened leading up to it need to be covered under a non-disclosure agreement if there wasn't foul?
And that's where the prison talk comes from. Because the most explosive version of this story isn't Jay-Z didn't see the signs. It's the accusation that he allegedly knew, allegedly stayed quiet, and that people around the circle were allegedly paid off or pressured into silence to keep things buried.
Now I'm going to ask you, why would non-disclosure agreements need to be signed for an accident?
Hey.
There were over 25 non-disclosure agreements cashed out and recorded regarding the death of that beautiful girl and every other human being that died on that plane with her. What the fuck? What would you need a nigga don't ask for that? And Diddy had Hype Williams on the balls. Belly was a money pit.
Without question.
And Jay-Z got 10 free videos out of Williams. And Hype didn't work for free.
That's the language people use when they're hinting at obstruction, conspiracy, cover-ups. And once those words start getting attached to a name like Jay-Z, the internet doesn't treat it like gossip anymore. It treats it like a countdown. Even more unsettling is how people claim that whenever certain voices say this out loud, like Jaguar Wright, content starts disappearing. Interviews get taken down. Clips get harder to find.
Think about this. Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it.
Now, I can't verify why any specific video gets removed, and there are plenty of normal reasons content comes down. But you already know how the timeline thinks. To them, removed equals they're trying to silence her. So the real question is not just what did 50 Cent say? The real question is, what is this footage actually showing?
Jay-Z.
Saw Jay-Z. And he was working with R. Kelly, and they were making so many records together. You know, they made all of those records together. They both fucked Aaliyah. They shared so much in common. You know? And then there was a falling out. And that's like it never happened. Whoever talks about best of the both worlds? Best of both worlds. Nobody talks about that.
Nobody talks about this shit.
Nobody talks about that project.
That nigga swept that smooth under the rug.
Why?
We know why.
You know what? I got a better question.
Yeah.
How valuable is a Biggie Smalls verse?
Yeah.
Puffy has been making money off of Biggie's name for longer than Biggie was alive. People keep forgetting he hadn't turned 25 yet. He was still 24 when he died. It's been over 25 years. Fucking Puffy has been making money on that boy's name longer than he lived. It supported all of Bad Boy.
And who does it put in the blast radius if it ever goes fully public? Almost immediately after she started speaking on Jay-Z, people online claim the cleanup began again. Clips disappearing, conversations getting harder to find, entire threads wiped like they were never there. And some even go further, saying tragedies in her personal life followed, which only made the paranoia louder.
Turn up your money.
You know, like if I'm trying to sell something, him and his lawyers, Alex Shapiro, putting a false lawsuit on me, like, like that, devaluing anything that I have or trying to sell. But, or even down to like, we were selling Rockwear, right, for like $400 million or whatever. I was gonna make $40 million. And right before Tommy Hilfiger signs the papers, he makes an announcement saying that he's not fucking with Rockwear, that he's only fucking with S. Carter. The whole shit up. And I just feel like he did that only because I was going to make $40 million. Like he just couldn't see, like they get so mad if I'm going to make money off them. Like every time I could have made a really big check, he's always stepped in and intentionally fucked it up. Every time. Listen, don't ask me, ask the rest of the industry. Like, that's why I got the fuck away. I mean, one of the reasons. Like Jay, I like the way I would look at it, like if you could compare him to like a character now, I'd say he's like the Penguin. He's like ruthless like that with his friends or people that help him. At least that's how it.
Now, the new chatter is that 50 Cent isn't just digging up old mess. He's allegedly giving Jaguar Wright a bigger platform in the documentary world to relitigate the most sensitive stories of all, including Aaliyah. And this is where it gets dangerous, so let's be clear. These are Jaguar's claims and online speculation, not proven facts. When Jaguar talks about Aaliyah, she always comes back to one question. Why, in her view, did it never get fully investigated in a way that satisfied everyone?
Aaliyah died. And then they brought Rich Harrison in, and got me thinking so crazy right now. She liked posing with him in pictures for Page 6. Aaliyah didn't. She fell in love with Dane. And Aaliyah's gone, and, you have to start asking yourself questions after being in this business for this long. If you're a halfway intelligent person, when do you start questioning how lucky some motherfuckers keep getting?
Right.
Is it really a conspiracy if the same person keeps benefiting off the same kind of tragedy over and over and over again? So to answer your question, I'm sure he's always going to be a billionaire, and I'm sure he's got great things to happen. I mean, look, he's got the job with the NFL. He's hooking all his friends up with the halftime shows. I mean, think about it. Think about the halftime shows. Jennifer Lopez, Shakira, all Rock Nation. Now Rihanna, and then we had the whole LA thing, which of course he was involved in that, and then they pulled Mary J. Blige off to make sure she got that money for Kendall, and they had that whole moment, but all he's doing is using his friends and the people that he fucks with, or at least the people that signs his non-disclosure agreements. He keeps getting them the Super Bowl gigs. So I mean, like, he's doing all kinds of stuff, and I do not begrudge him. It's just, if you got to do the kind of things that he's done to get where he's gotten, well, fuck it. I don't want it that.
She frames it like there are gaps that were never properly addressed. Then she brings up NDAs, because in her narrative, NDAs don't show up unless somebody wants the full story controlled. She's claimed there were numerous NDAs and payouts after Aaliyah's death, covering what people allegedly saw, heard, or knew leading up to the flight. And she asks, why would that be necessary?
Wright explained how Rihanna was sold to Jay-Z at 16 years old. She explained how it was super sketchy that Rihanna got brought to America at only 16 years old without any parental supervision, and how she auditioned for Jay-Z at 3 o'clock in the morning. She explained how it didn't make sense that Rihanna's parents would let her fly by herself after just meeting Evan Roberts all the way to America to meet with Jay-Z in the middle of the night. And she alleged that Rihanna's dad got a $500,000 payout for letting this happen. She alleged since this was all out of the blue, Rihanna would have had to flown on a private plane to get from Barbados to America because she wouldn't have had a visa and her parents were not around with her to fly to America. And Rihanna even explained how Jay-Z would not let her leave until she signed the recording contract, and the label locked her in the office until 3 a.m.
And that's where she tries to pull Jay-Z's name into the orbit of the story. Not with hard receipts, but with insinuation, favors, influence, rewarded silence, and a system that keeps certain names out of the conversation. Her point isn't subtle. She's implying that if powerful people wanted a story buried, they had the tools to bury it. And that's why, she claims, certain names never get mentioned out loud. Her point is simple, but heavy. If it was truly just an accident, why would there be so much secrecy?
We're almost blacklisted.
Oh no, absolutely blacklisted. They didn't tell you you were blacklisted. It's just the jobs that you used to get easy. All of a sudden there were other people. There was a new direction. There were restaurants you used to eat at that were always sold out. Your table wasn't available. It is the shunning.
Yeah, exactly.
Social shunning. And then when people that you know who you are, start talking about you behind your back in ways that they never did. And all of a sudden their career begins to elevate.
Yeah.
It's social engineering. And the sad thing about it is every last rapper that you said fucked you over also happens to be a government informant.
Yeah.
Why would you think that you had a chance against these people when everything that they do, the government seems to ignore? It seems like they were untouchable because you didn't know that they had a deal.
Right.
They had permission to act like assholes and never have to be accountable for it, or so the government said, so they get to fuck over people like you and people like me and people like Aaliyah and people like Rihanna, people like Lauryn Hill, and people like Rakim, people like Nas. You know what I'm speaking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say,
But even back in 2005, when we had spoke to the FBI, I didn't think of her like.
See if you were willing to testify against him, so they would know whether or not they were going to have to move you around.
Legal silence, private agreements, closed-door payouts. And in her narrative, what makes it feel even darker is the timing. She says questions faded out while Jay-Z's career kept leveling up. Then she zooms out to the era after Tupac and Biggie, when New York's crown felt like it was up for grabs, and she claims the industry winds started blowing one direction. In her telling, Jay kept rising deal after deal, while other stars lost momentum or got pushed to the side. She also ties multiple worlds together.
Was there at the beginning of her career, who took such great care to get her there. She shouldn't have been stripped from her team.
Right.
From her protection, no different than a rose. They went into the garden and they stripped the thorns and they pulled it out, and then they've been ripping petals off piece by piece, year for year.
Correct.
Let's change that.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
For her.
Yeah.
And for every other child girl like her.
And you're doing. Listen, you're doing the same thing that Dream Hampton did when she laid out the R. Kelly case for the prosecutors to finally, after 20 years, go and charge him.
You know, Dream is one of Jay-Z's girls too.
Yeah. But I'm just saying the way
Paid
that
her
she...
to do that right.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he wanted to take him out?
Paid her to do Surviving R. Kelly and Bring In Me Too. Just like he loaned his lawyer Spiro to Tupac's family so that they can get to the bottom of his unalivement. As if he doesn't already.
Jay-Z's collaborations, industry relationships, and the way certain circles overlapped, insisting none of it was separate. It was connected. And she doesn't stop there. She points to Jay's fallout with early partners like Dame Dash as an example of what she calls a pattern. Protect the money, protect the control, cut loose whoever can't be controlled. Then she moves into the part that always sparks the biggest arguments: younger artists. She claims the industry has a history of treating young talent like assets first and people second. And she brings up Rihanna as an example of how, in her view, the machine prioritizes business over protection.
Yeah, you got him in trouble. See, you got him in trouble because Jay-Z came here.
Because you think it was on this show which put it out there?
Yeah, you did. Because he was saying nothing like that any other place. You know, do you know him to be aggressive or to start? He said something about me first on your show, Tim.
It must have gone over my head at the time.
Yeah, all right, well, look. What happened is...
What happened?
You was talking to him about the Kanye West.
He was actually sitting where you're sitting right now.
Right. About the Kanye West thing. And I said at that point that Kanye wouldn't have came and took no trophy from me. And Jay goes, let's get it straight. Nobody's afraid of 50 Cent. Let's be
put
clear.
It out there.
Nobody's afraid of 50 Cent.
Put it out there random from nowhere.
Yeah, but really he should have been making it clear with you.
Which he didn't.
He didn't make it clear with you that he's not a punk. See, at that point, his safe presentation, he's not identifying with the transition and difference and the perception of Jay-Z. Now he's really safe, and people feel comfortable with him because they know he's not going to do anything inappropriate or try not to. Is inappropriate. Meanwhile, when he's saying he's not afraid of 50 Cent, why would you have to make that clear when no one's ever asked me if I'm afraid of Jay-Z?
It was random at the time.
Yeah.
Came from nowhere.
He probably didn't mean it.
How did you feel about it?
It was interesting. It just was something to address because it was public. If it was something that was being said behind the scenes, I would have probably said, well, anybody that would openly be afraid of somebody would be a complete punk where I'm from.
Again, these are Jaguar's claims, not proven facts, but this is the core of what she's pushing. When the same name survives every storm and everyone else disappears, it makes people start asking questions out loud. She says it wasn't accidental. In Jaguar's telling, powerful people allegedly moved Rihanna through adult industry spaces before people even clocked her real age. Jonathan Hay backs part of the age confusion angle from his perspective.
His look, like his presentation, is really safe. Even the glasses, what the glasses represent? Intelligence, right? A nerd, maybe? 4 eyes. What are some of the things that come along with you being a nerd? Like, don't hit a guy with 4 eyes. He doesn't want any trouble. It makes you more approachable, doesn't it? Alongside the past, the Beyonce past. I'll be honest, I mean, Tim, you're aware of international. You are like flex here. I've always said that. I always felt like that, right? And there ain't never been no 50 Cent Jay-Z conversations questioning whether there was a competition between.
Claiming many assumed she was older until a night she couldn't produce ID, and it clicked she was only 17. Jaguar claims that after that, Rihanna's original team was slowly pushed out, new handlers came in, and anyone who asked questions allegedly saw doors quietly close. No blacklist announcement, just silence. She frames it as the industry's oldest play. NDAs, contracts, and money protecting the narrative, while young artists get treated like products instead of people.
He said something crazy about he said nobody's scared of 50 Cent.
I think he would have done that if that was 50 Cent. No one's scared of 50 Cent. I want everyone to be clear. No one's scared of 50 Cent.
I think it was kind of taken out of context a little bit, but what do you think about it?
I don't think it was taken out of context. No, I think the guy who was talking to him made him feel like a punk. You see what I'm saying? So he had to say, yo, nobody scared of 50. Let's get this clear. Nobody is scared of 50. You know, but I'm not the issue. Him making you feel like a punk is the issue. And at the end of the day, I look at it and people don't assess themselves. Even really intelligent people. And Jay's a smart guy. You know what I'm saying? He'll analyze other people and other things that they're doing and not actually look at what's happening to him and his transition and difference. But right now, he's in a real safe space. He created this real safe aura. This is why people walking on the stage and why shit is happening like that. A lot of it wouldn't have been like that if he actually dealt with his issues himself. See, he's a piece of work, man. He always put somebody in front of him. When Jada came for him, he put Beanie in front of him. And Beanie went back and forth with Jadakiss. When Cam came for him, he put True Life in front of him. And they went back and forth. And
She claims Jay-Z was in positions where he could have protected people. And instead, in her telling, people were removed, silenced, or replaced, so the money and momentum could keep flowing. Anybody in the way, pushed aside. And that's why, to some people, 50 Cent's exposé Jay-Z energy doesn't feel random. It feels personal and it feels old. Because this tension goes back years. 50 has talked before about how Jay moved in the industry. Calm, safe, strategic, the guy everyone trusts. But 50's always hinted that the clean image covered up power plays he never respected, especially from the time when 50 was still grinding and trying to break through. So when 50 keeps poking Jay-Z now, the way fans read it is simple. This isn't just rivalry. It's a score he never stopped keeping. And now he's got bigger platforms, bigger reach, and allegedly more receipts than ever. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think any of this actually leads somewhere real? Or is it just noise designed to keep the internet spinning? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want the next update the moment it drops, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because if this story moves, Celebreel is covering every twist.